that was pretty good. Thought it was pretty solid. SuperMarioT here, stating his thoughts on the Nintendo Direct we had 2 days ago. I enjoyed it. Of course, there are a decent chunk of individuals that thought it was underwhelming or average, and if you thought that, that's perfectly valid. There are some good reasons to me as to why some may not have liked this Direct. A lot of stuff here was generally about games we did know about already, not to mention some of it was leaked beforehand, sucking some of the wind and hype out of the enjoyment, which, while not the Direct's fault, it's understandable all the same. Personally, I felt that not only did we get lots of new details on those games we heard of prior, but there was plenty of variety and such that it didn't feel one-sided or lackluster in many aspects. Though there weren't many new games announced, it was plenty of first and third-party ports or remakes, so to anyone who feels the Direct was mediocre or such, you have reason to suspect. All of our inputs are subjective and can be reasonable. They're opinionated like mine, as I thought it was a very solid Direct. Why, you may ask? Let's review. So it started with Overwatch being confirmed for Switch this October, which is great. Sadly, this game got leaked beforehand, so everyone was essentially expecting it, including myself. It was also weird to consider how long it took for Overwatch to get here, given most hype and buzz for the game has been teetering off from what I see. Better late than never though. Still good that Overwatch is here anyways. Next was Luigi's Mansion 3, and it shocks me how many modes we're getting in this. I think I'm too used to Luigi's Mansion not being that big of a game, so seeing 3 get Dark Moon side content along with even more content's pretty cool. There's a multiplayer mode where it's like Kill Confirmed, trying to capture the greatest number of ghosts for your team. We saw some new floors, this tomb ruins looking one like Indiana Jones style somewhat, a pyramid floor, some really varied stuff coming from this game. Super stoked and excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. I predicted we'd get a Kirby announcement only to see Super Kirby Clash, which is I believe a sequel to Team Kirby Clash on 3DS. Just looking at it, you could tell it uses Star Allies' engine. It's a boss rush mode like the 3DS game, and it's free to play, thankfully. Nice to get a Kirby spin-off. Then we got the Trials of Mana remake, Return of the Obra Dinn, and Town, which now goes under the name Little Town Hero. I'm aware of Mana fans eager to wait and try this game out. Nice of Square providing more RPGs to the system. Obra Dinn, third-party port. Don't know much of anything about it other than more third parties, which is good, and its art style I really like. Little Town Hero, it looks like a cute little RPG. Good to hold people over before Pokemon comes out. Toby Fox working on the OST is amazing, and it's neat seeing Game Freak branch out with games other than Pokemon. 10 minutes into the whole thing, they dropped Smash Ultimate details. Banjo-Kazooie was revealed to come out later the same day. They revealed Terry Bogard with a cute little Neo Geo montage of a bunch of SNK characters missing the Smash letter. They even promoted a little video showcasing Banjo for after the Direct. And what came after? Oh boy. Before I go any further though, the Smash Banjo broadcast video was technically separate from the Direct, but it worked in tandem with the Smash info we got, so I'll just go over it quickly. Banjo looks and feels like a very traditional Smash character and very fun. He doesn't feel like DLC, he feels like he would have fit in the base roster. Like Joker's Arsene and Hero's RNG making up his entire neutral, make them feel like DLC if that makes any sense. Compare it to Cloud or Bayonetta from Smash 4. At least Cloud's limit to Arsene, and I think you'll get what I mean. But with the time I've gotten with Banjo, he's very fun and naturally fits in my playstyle. I want to meld with him a little more, maybe potentially see if I found a new main. Spiral Mountain's a fantastic stage, all the remixes and music we got is dope, and I can't stress how surreal it was seeing Sakurai promote Microsoft and be all, if you want to buy and play Banjo-Kazooie, go buy an Xbox. It's a shame Banjo-Kazooie doesn't seem to be coming to the Switch anytime soon, but Sakurai promoting their rival company is one of the most mind-blowing things from that, topped off with his staff laughing in the background. And then we got details regarding an update, Home Run Contest is back, looking really beautiful, Mii costumes, particularly a Sans Undertale one, which looks exactly like the character, which is hilarious and likely best case scenario for the character. As far as I know, I promised a friend I'd co-let's play Undertale in the future, so I haven't played it yet. Sans is the most popular character, but not the main one, or one that heavily represents Undertale extremely well. To get a Mii costume, one that looks like a mod mind you, it's more than your average Mii costume just looking at it, with a Megalovania remix to go along with it, was absolutely hilarious and fantastic. Sakurai even talks about how him and Toby Fox played Smash together, with Toby beating him more often, so now I'm convinced Toby Fox plays Smash competitively. Jokes aside, between the entire existence of Undertale, being an Earthbound hack, composing music for Little Town Hero, playing Smash Bros. With Sakurai, getting a lift foam from him as well, and getting one of his characters in Smash as one of, if not the most decked out Mii costume, Toby Fox is a massive inspiration and a legend. That dude is incredibly lucky and talented. We also got a sneak peek at Terry and his stage, which looks cool. I'm expecting a female version of Terry to come along with him. Terry himself looks cool. If you saw my reaction, you know full well I know jack about SNK. So I'm indifferent overall when it comes to Terry, but I'm okay with his inclusion. And then the big bombshell happened. Probably the biggest thing that happened in this entire direct. It's confirmed that even when the Fighters Pass ends, Smash Ultimate will still be getting even more DLC fighters in the future. They didn't say how many, how much, or for how long, but Smash Ultimate's Fighter Pass is not the end of the road for DLC, and that is insanely mind-blowing. I'm gonna dig deep into this topic in another video, but guys, this is huge. For all we know, Smash Ultimate could be getting DLC for the next 5 years, given the Switch is still a very young system. Like, good god, there's a lot to talk about with this, and Sakurai's word on the matter. Smash fans had a field day between this announcement and the whole Banjo showcase afterwards, not even to mention the fact that Banjo came out after that. Then we got a look at Zelda Link's Awakening with more details and characters shown off. Warp makes his reappearance after over 20 years, which is cool. I don't have much to say about it other than it's still a cute top-down Zelda game. It comes out in 2 weeks, which should be big. Dragon Quest XI got a brief mention as that comes out soon as well. In the Japanese Direct, they confirmed Dragon Quest 1 to 3 are being put on Switch as well, along with an English option, so I did get the Dragon Quest part technically right in my predictions. We just watched the wrong Direct in the wrong language. And Tokyo Mirage Sessions is getting ported. Kind of a decent surprise as it's been a while since our last Wii U port. Plus, there aren't that many great Wii U games worth porting to the Switch left, but TMS was among that collection for most, so it getting a second chance on Switch is a good thing. Then even more third parties such as Deadly Premonition 2 and Deadly Premonition Origins, which is a huge one, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Doom 64 from Bethesda, just lots of third parties from this direct, and it didn't even end there. There's apparently a new IP coming called Rogue Company. Halfway through we got even more info on Pokemon Sword and Shield, some smaller things, customizations back, and probably the most layered and extensive it's ever been, even more so than X and Y. There's a curry thing. I'm sure Rock Lee would be satisfied in knowing the curry of life lives on in Pokemon. Pokemon Camp, which is basically Pokemon Refresh and a Mii coming back, which is also great, and 2 new mods, a ghost-type teapot named Poltergeist, which is dumb because teapot and I like it, and Cramorang, which looks dumb and I love it more. Tiny bit more than I expected, but the new stuff we got for Pokemon here was on the more positive side and well-structured side of things, it seemed. And then they delved into Nintendo Switch Online with SNES games coming. Thank God, it took them long enough with a solid lineup of games, and surprisingly no price increase, which is great. It's weird to think we won't be getting games monthly anymore. Now it'll be infrequent, but hopefully this means more than 2 to 3 games a month. Either way, SNES games on Switch shoulda came a while ago, happy we're finally getting them now. Tetris 99 is confirmed to be getting more updates and modes and themes, primarily for those who want a battle, which is cool. Mario and Sonic got shown off as expected, highlighted the story mode, etc. The game looks great, but unfortunately, they mentioned the roster would be bigger. However, they left out the part where the newcomers are, just like in the Rio Olympics, guest characters. Which, we've had the same roster for 10 years by this October. You introduced all these characters in Rio. You literally doubled the roster size, only to lock them in a single event, and you choose to do that again. This was the one thing that could have made this the best Mario and Sonic Olympics game. You have Dream Events back, which is fantastic. You have this retro mode, which looks cool and innovative for Mario and Sonic. Everyone got cute little costumes. I will say Rosalina looks smoking in her surfer outfit. But a bigger roster universally across all the events was the only thing, the one primary advancement that was missing. Other than that, the game looks great, still gonna pick it up and play it, but bruh. That's like the most obvious advancement they could have made, and they chose not to do it. Baffling. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. Daemon X Machina. For some reason, you'll get copyright if you show the footage, by the way, but... this game's gonna die. They're tossing this game out to die because no one is making any buzz for it. Nobody cares for it. And it comes out next week when Zelda and all these other games release. I feel so bad for it. Like, it could be a great game for all we know, but no one's talking about it. I thought it was out already. I thought it was released, so I didn't think or predict it would come out, but it isn't even out yet. And no one even cares about it, which is just sad. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, classic game being released on Switch, or re-released I should say. The Witcher 3 is coming, an Assassin's Creed collection's coming, as well as Dauntless, Just Dance 2020, Grid Autosport, Farming Simulator 20, Ni no Kuni, NBA 2K20, Call of Cthulhu, The Outer Worlds, Devil May Cry 2, Vampire, a boatload of more third parties, which is fantastic as usual. Then out of nowhere, we got an extensive look at Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I did not expect. I guess because I assumed we get like a mini direct in January or something, or because it comes out in spring, I felt like we get it in a spring direct, even though those pop up during the middle of spring, not the beginning. But Animal Crossing looks very good. There was a lot of stuff here. How much stuff you could build, break, create, you can invite friends in your town and whatnot. I'm not an Animal Crossing guy at all, but I know this game will do insanely well next spring. So it was a pleasant surprise. It looks like a genuinely good Animal Crossing. And then they closed the direct on Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And you'd be pleasantly surprised to hear I'm a lot more excited for this than you think. I've wanted to play Xenoblade Chronicles for a long while, even when it's long, and I'm aware there are now 3 releases of this game, but I hear it's an amazing game, and you could tell it's a very vivid graphical upgrade from the original. There's also going to be cut content from the original game restored, which I think helps justify the price point a little, but this is something I'm definitely going to pick up. At first I questioned whether it was a good closer for the direct, but then I remembered ever since Smash 4 and Shulk being in Smash, Xenoblade as a franchise has grown a lot, especially since Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I also want to play. It's comparable to how Fire Emblem was during the Wii era with Brawl and Radiant Dawn. The only difference though was Fire Emblem internationally sold badly. It took Fire Emblem Awakening, when the 3DS was a thing, to really spark interest and save the franchise from certain doom. Xenoblade's been on a steady increase in sales and popularity since Smash Bros, and especially Xenoblade 2 on the Switch being the best-selling one. So Xenoblade's in a better position now than when Fire Emblem was a decade ago. Now with a definitive Xenoblade Chronicles 1 version, it's likely going to be the best-selling one since it's not coming out during the Switch's twilight years like on Wii. Especially since this is Shulk's game, and Shulk being in Smash Bros, people want to check it out. I own Xenoblade Chronicles X because my friend gave it to me along with the wonderful 101. I'm trying to see if I could get 2, but this one I can guarantee you I'm going to buy and play. Let's play along with Banjo-Kazooie? Huh? Maybe? Huh? Hey subs, viewers watching, let me know. There were some predictions that I made that didn't hit its mark, unfortunately. No Bayonetta 3, no Wario game, no Mario Party, no Goose Game weirdly along with Hat in Time and Yooka-Laylee, no Final Fantasy. This is all fine. It's all fine. Some of these games come out really soon, like a Hat in Time and the Goose Game, so it's really not a big deal at all. Stuff like Bayonetta, Wario, Mario Party, Final Fantasy, maybe Kid Icarus. Those are all come in due time. No Mario RPG. I was open to the idea of a Paper Mario announcement, but I've mentioned before numerous times, I'm not really expecting an actual new Paper Mario until next spring, so no Paper Mario's fine. Mario and Luigi's probably taking longer than expected to make, so that'll likely come later as well. And of course, no Odyssey 2. For a split second, when I saw the waterfalls during that Xenoblade announcement, I immediately thought the Cascade Kingdom, but then the next shot told me, you wrong, boyo. So, it didn't happen. Like Paper Mario, I've mentioned before a couple times, the best chance is likely next E3 in 2020, with a shot earlier in the Spring Direct relatively viable as well. I've said Odyssey 2 is a matter of time for a multitude of reasons, so soon we'll get it. Not getting it now is not a big deal. Again, there was a lot of remakes and ports announced between both first and third parties, but not only were there so freaking many third parties announced, the first parties that we knew about got plenty of new information and details like Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, etc. And we still got new announcements in games like Super Kirby Clash, Rogue's Company, and Smash DLC still coming. I thought it was a satisfactory direct, a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Plenty here I know lots of fans of many franchises are excited for: Smash, Xenoblade, Luigi's Mansion, Kirby, Zelda, etc. Was this the best direct in a while? Debatable? I feel like E3 was better, but the September specific directs usually end up being great. It's happened in 2017 and 2018 before, so this one was also good in my opinion. Do any of you feel the same? Anyone displeased with the direct? Tell me why. You're welcome to vent if you wish, or maybe you love this direct. I'm willing to hear those voices as well. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more Nintendo coverage, Let's Plays, and other video game videos. Stay super.